Good morning! And no, not Vietnam, because I'm not there. Welcome to the new Geek News daily edition right here on Joker Fan Pop Culture Chat. Big shout out to Comic Book Burrito, who joined the subscriber list here at the YouTube channel. Thank you very much. There is also a Facebook group of the same name, which I share stuff to. I'd rather have everybody here in the YouTube channel because if you see any of my videos anywhere else other than the outright geekery Facebook page, like any actual groups that you share videos to with StreamYard, if you comment there, none of your comments are seen because they don't have permissions from groups to be able to do that unless you're part of the group or you're doing the live in the group. But if you're doing it from you're simulcasting from the YouTube channel and you're just putting links to it someplace else. So they're just basically watching links. So there's a bunch of stuff going on today. First and foremost, let's address something that I'm sure you are all aware of because it's been everywhere. CBR, Bleeding Cool, what they are calling Bloody Monday at DC Comics. Jim Lee, Bob Harris, Marie Javins in new DC Comics implosion rumors. This was actually from 2 days ago from Bleeding Cool. Earlier today, Bleeding Cool posted the news that DC Comics staffers, along with the rest of Warner Brothers, were undergoing a downsizing of staff. That's right. They are basically killing themselves. At the staff, we were led to believe that the brunt would be felt by DC Universe as part of an alignment of streaming services being offered. So we're pretty sure DC Universe is not as of yet, but I theorized some months ago that with the whole HBO Max thing that they were going to remove all video content, and they've already moved to doing that. They already moved Stargirl some weeks ago off the DC app straight to the CW. They already announced that this fall they were going to be sadly editing down probably, but also airing Swamp Thing on the CW. And then everybody got excited, goes, ooh, well, maybe HBO Max will develop Swamp Thing for a better series, even though this one was phenomenal, but it was just based on the New 52 run. That was my only issue. It was still phenomenal. They did an incredible job, but anyway, but instead it became rapidly clear that DC Comics editorial was being targeted in a major way for such changes, with everyone describing things as the DC bloodbath. That's why I got the nickname on social media, DC's Bloody Monday, or a new DC implosion on a Monday as well. This new DC implosion seems to have all but confirmed the departure of Mark Doyle as executive editor at DC Black Label. That's sad. I really love Black Label. You know, minus that, first time with, naked Bruce Wayne in the cave, um, that you had to squint to see. Sorry, Batman. Uh, Global Publishing Initiatives and Digital Strategy, Bobby Chase, DC Editor, Andy Kurari, DC Senior Story Editor, Brian Cunningham, and SVP Publishing Strategy and Support Services at DC, Hank Canals. Uh, that DC Collectibles will be wound up as a line. They have hatcheted the DC Collectibles line. No more figures from DC Collectibles, no more statues, no more nothing. So if you want DC figures from now on going forward, you got to go to the Todd Father, Todd McFarlane. But we are now getting a better shape of what DC Comics will be looking like going forward, because as to whether Jim Lee remains as CCO and publisher, and since this was written, we've learned that Jim Lee will be remaining with DC Comics. He will no longer be CCO and publisher, which is good. Jim should go back to doing what Jim knows best, which is visual storytelling and art. Just my humble opinion. He is a legend and a figurehead. He is basically the 90s generation figurehead, like Stan Lee was for original Marvel. He's worked for both companies, but still, it's Jim Lee. He's like one of the most iconic artists from that era. I am told that transitioning out of that role with current executive editor of Global Publishing and Initiatives and Digital Strategy at DC Comics, Marie Jobbins, and Vice President and Executive Editor, DC Children's Young Adult, which would be DC Inc. and the other imprint that I can't think of right at the top of my head. But it's that whole line that Brian Michael Bendis is involved in. Excuse me. I was really hoping to see Brian Michael Bendis get the hatchet, because he has pretty much destroyed the Superman line. As far as I'm concerned, he did all kinds of stupid crap. He just wanted to rewrite the entire DC history. Not a fan of that, sorry. And he utterly destroyed the Legion of Superheroes. Not to mention destroying Super Sons, because, I'm going to take young Superboy Jonathan Kent and I'm going to make him, age 10 years prematurely so I can use him as a fairly grown-up version of Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes, and then I'm going to change everybody to Virtue Signal and all this other crap in the book. But there's an update. I understand that this is what I already said. Understand that Jim Lee may no longer be publisher. He will remain. They're reporting that he will remain as CCO, Chief Creative Officer, but he will no longer be working in the role of publisher. I've also been told that Eddie Choi, Executive Assistant to Jim Lee, Sandy Resnick, International Publishing Ad Sales and Custom Creative Studio, and Sarah Haskell, Marketing Director, are out. Nixed, kaput, out of a job. Isn't that lovely? as are Michael Schelling, Director of Publicity and Publishing at DC, Jonah Welland, VP of Marketing and Creative Services in, I'm going to butcher this name, I'm sorry, Jim Sokolowski. No, I got it right, I think. VP Comic Book Specialty and Newsstand Sales have also been laid off. I am told these layoffs will have an immediate effect on the publication of DC Comics monthly titles. Ouch. And I am to expect a rapid reduction of titles. They're cutting down all their titles. We're going to see a whole bunch of books just dropped immediately. Like, unless they've been printed already. If they're printed, obviously they're going to ship them out. Otherwise, everything will be if you thought DC Comics published an unhealthy percentage of Batman books, you ain't seen nothing yet. Oh, good Lord. Look. The only Batman books we really need, and speaking Batman specifically, is Batman and Detective Comics. That's it. That's all we need. We're good. Batman and the Outsiders has been, enjoyable. And I like that, they brought Black Lightning back. But this past week, I haven't read it, but this past week's issue is not looking good for him. I did like it when they had him in the Justice League a few years back before all this craziness. But the Bat books, most of the Justice League books, and some of the Superman books will stay safe, as will the digital line. Sadly. This is AT&T sticking their greedy corporate noses into entertainment that they know nothing about. This is probably them wanting the money, but trying to tell us that they want to move to all digital. No, sir, I don't like it. The original as for the digital line and the original graphic novel line should stay safe. Hopefully that means Black Label is safe and untouchable at this point. Knock on plastic desk. But a lot of comics will have to disappear as there simply aren't enough people to work on them. Well, because you fired everybody. You morons. Scott Snyder will be very grateful that Marie Jobbins elevated role, because the plan is for publishing to definitely continue, but I am to expect a greater emphasis on digital and bookstore rather than comic book shops, for now at least. Okay, right there has me still loving the DC characters, but hating DC Comics right now. They have axed a shit ton of talent, as you can gather from this. They were just basically named off a whole bunch of top names. This was all set in motion way back prior to pandemic there, when they were like, G5, nope, not happening. Somebody get in there and get rid of Dan DiDio, which is good because personally, I like Dan. I don't have, you know, any animosity personally towards him outside of, well, pretty much a whole bunch of his ideas. Uh, the Metal Men series was good though. I have to say I did enjoy that. That's what's going on in DC. We will keep taps on this and see where things are going from here, but it's not looking good, and they're looking to screw over the entire part of the industry, distribution wise, that has let them be a business for like the last 30 or 40 years, because it's been nearly 40 years since they were really newsstand books, which really pisses me off with some of the distribution deals. Like there's lots of stores. Let me just name. I'm not going to name any of them because I don't want to. Don't start no shit, won't be no shit, right? For now, at least. There's lots of stores out there that use Diamond. Lots of retail stores that use Diamond, and they buy like a lot of specialty stuff, but they get discounts. Like, say for instance, on toys. Diamond will not give a toy discount to any comic shops. And by the time Diamond gets you the toys, they're already in the bargain bins on sale for like 60% less than what Diamond charged the stores full price and a half at least for. Which is why there's a lot of stores that will buy stuff sporadically, but then they're stuck with it because they can't sell it because, one of the biggest sellers is Pops, and I'm hearing more and more that every time the more popular Pops get, like small business can't afford to buy them because you have to order a certain monetary level annually, and I'm talking six figures and above, more like the above part, to actually be able to place orders and get them. Otherwise, you have to buy them by third party and hope that third party will give you a discount if you order a certain amount. But either way, that's neither here nor there. Let's get to podcast news for today. Last night, if you haven't seen it yet, please take some time out and watch the sit down we had with comic book creator and novelist Todd Black. He was the special guest last night on Creators Outlet. He is the writer and creator of the comic book series, now on its third issue, live on Kickstarter right now. The links are in the description and in the chat for the show last night. The name of the book, and it is incredible looking. It just shows his love of anime, and the artist that he got was completely sick. It's just incredible. And the name of the book is Tokyo Blade Detectives. See, right there, it sounds like an anime series, right? And hopefully one day a streaming service or studio will want to pick it up and actually make something of it. He has also written a line of, because I didn't know this, Sherlock Holmes isn't under any particular licensing. It's, it's open game. So he has done his own reimagining of Sherlock Holmes. He has 5 Sherlock Holmes novels currently available on Amazon, and 2 more in the works, but he's got like 5 or 6 other projects going on at the same time. Podcast news for tonight. I am on a break tonight from Creators Outlet because tonight we're going to do a special new comic book day edition of Okay Boomer. So Thomas and I will be on tonight. We're going back in the day on that spinner rack. Last week we did a book from 2011. We are not doing another book like that for a while. Or at least until one of us picks it again. Tonight we are going to be looking at a book of sophisticated suspense. That's right, we're going back to Swamp Thing. Most importantly, the Alan Moore Swamp Thing. Yes. Issue number 49 by Alan Moore, Stan Watch, and Alfred Akala. This is one of Thomas's all-time favorite Swamp Thing issues. And there are plenty of surprises in this. And I haven't read it yet. Like, I probably read it when it came out. Back in... I'm squinting to see this because the cover is only like this big on my 40-inch screen. Looks like 1986. This probably came out right around the time I discovered my first comic shop. But so this will be definitely a good one tonight for all those lovers of the green and classic comics and back issues, and the legions upon legions of Alan Moore fans. So we're doing that tonight. Tomorrow night, I have another indie guest coming on Creators Outlet. That's right, another Creators Outlet all week long. I've got people lined up around the block right now to come on the show. And we're starting to collaborate with some other people. And yet again, I gave the big shout out to Comic Book Burrito as a new follower. And I seem to talk to my pals Chris, Oscar, and along with Rapido and Comic Book Brainiac over at Lost in Comics. Make sure you check them out. And this Thursday, they've got the writer of Red Border from AWA. You definitely want to pop in there. I think that's 5 Central, 6 Eastern Standard Time. I just know it's 6 o'clock for me. So my Thursday night interview on Creators Outlet is at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And then Friday night, and I'm posting the link, the show links up everywhere today. Scott Hanna is joining us Friday night. Next week, Peter A. DeLuca, who unfortunately had to cancel last night, and then Todd Black jumped into his spot. Thank you very much for that. And we've rescheduled him for next Monday at 1 in the afternoon due to his work schedule. And there's a possibility he might even launch his crowdfunder while we're live, which would be cool. And next Tuesday, that is the 18th. Yes, finally. One of my interviews from last November's Rhode Island Comic-Con coverage, Ben and Jeff from formerly The Talking Dead. Yes, there was a lawsuit going on with The Walking Dead. And they finally had enough of the battle, and they changed. They kind of like flipped the name around a little bit. And we're going to talk about that. The new issues that are out, how you can get the issues, how you can follow them. They do their own podcasts a couple of times a week. They are huge on the education of the marijuana. So their whole comic, it was actually written as a novel, and then through talking to various people, decided to move it to comic book form. So basically, the basic gist of it is you have two guys working at the pot shop, dispensary, and the zombie apocalypse breaks out, and they're freaking out. And then they accidentally find out that if you smoke up the zombies and get them high, they no longer want to eat your brains. The problem ensues of what happens when you run out of weed. And we're going to talk about all this next Tuesday, the 18th, with Ben and Jeff on Creators Outlet. I'm also filling up other slots because of Thomas's schedule for work schedule. I usually try to keep Wednesdays and Thursdays open because sometimes we have to move. Okay, Boomer, like this week, we've been doing it on Thursday nights, and this week we're moving it to Wednesday. So I usually keep those 2 days open until like Monday or Tuesday when I find out what his schedule is, and he lets me know for sure, what day and time that we're going to go live with the show. Then I can hit a couple people up that are still looking for a spot, and I can just either maybe move somebody forward to a slot and fill up that time slot, or actually just take a night off and go to sleep, But that's what's going on right now. We are following other news stories as well, because there's always stuff going on. We just got new books that we're going to be reviewing for late this month. From Scout Comics, we're going to be covering It Eats What It Feeds, issue 2. Yasmin, issue 2. We have a brand new series, Wretches, issue 1. All from Scout Comics. And I will probably be doing a 5-minute review on Wretches. Wretches is written by James E. Roche and art by Salofaris. Orphan siblings Shay and Sean, yes, the Sean version of Sean, live on the fringes of the solar system, forever outrunning the horrors of their past. When it finally catches up to them, they're forced to fight for their lives, battling robot tyrants, forming shady alliances, and toppling alien drug lords, all to avoid losing the only important thing they have left, each other. And actually, this isn't a number one. This is volume one. My mistake. So, Rich's volume one trade paperback is coming out, and that will reprint issues 1 through 6. And if you haven't read it before, it looks like a super cool sci-fi series. So I will be sitting down probably this weekend and reading volume 1 and doing a 5-minute review at some point. So the weekend, the earliest. I don't like to podcast on the weekends. I like to just, read. I was so relaxed this past weekend. It was silly. But anyhow, I'm looking forward to reading that this weekend. I might do the most I do on the weekends podcast wise is maybe like a 5-minute review. Other than that, I'm trying to do all these daily news update things. Monday through Friday. Mostly in the mornings. I'm trying to uniform it so it's mornings. The only time I can't do that is like yesterday when I had like a doctor's appointment in the morning. I couldn't be here. Crossover, the series from Donnie Cates and Jeff Shaw over at Image, we have the image up of the new variant cover, which speaks volumes, over on the Outright Geekery page. Which, by the way, thank you for going over and giving us the like and the follow. It means a lot. We went from 19K to 20.1K. We hit 20K late yesterday afternoon. I believe either late yesterday afternoon or the day before. So within like the last 48 hours, we hit 20K, and then we jumped right up to 20.1K. So please tell your friends about the page. It's a free page. Just go over there, hit the thumbs up button and the drop down menu, and make sure you're following us for all the new stuff. Don't forget, This Geek in Comics has actually been going live on Mondays. So I guess they're doing 2 shows. They're doing the regular Sunday shtick, and then Monday they just come on to talk about all the books that are coming out. Well, they don't talk about all the books. They highlight and roast a lot of the books, but their take on what's coming out for the following new comic book day. I do not do that because I never get to my comic book shop anymore. So the big news, if you haven't been on social media this morning, is my favorite author, and probably yours too, Jeff Lemire, has come back, as the rumors have been true, the return of Sweet Tooth. I remember reading this, and it was the first Lemire book I read, as far as I know, and didn't know who he was. Name wasn't familiar to me back then, but I read the book. I loved it. It was just great comics. So Sweet Tooth, The Return, is coming to DC Black Label as a miniseries, yes. I was very excited to read about that this morning. And we have the review up for Adventure Man number 3 with the beautiful art by Terry Dodson. You can read all about that. Everything's going to be on our page. The hilarious meme, the "When I Become a Dad," and the father reading to the baby, "The Tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise," for babies. Sorry, Facebook is so slow. And it's got some creepy kind of errors in it. The Venom 20 variant cover by Ryan Stegman, who I've bugged a whole bunch of times to come on the podcast. I'm among the little people, so he has not talked to me yet. If we're back to Scout Comics again, I forgot yesterday, right after I did the daily, I got an email from Scout for Grit. I don't know if you read Grit number 1 yet. Now, I wasn't crazy about the artwork, but the story was incredible. If you're a horror fan, you definitely want to read this. It was so good. But apparently, everybody else thought it was good too, because they announced yesterday that Grit is going back to press with a second print. Right from the desk of the big guy. The boss man over there just sent this to us yesterday, and he's like, so the pre-order code is July 208052. Of course, they put a special variant cover on the second print. You can see what it looks like, and if you dig the cover, and I dig the cover, dude's got so much blood on him. At first glance, it makes it look like Hellboy on the cover. And then you're like, oh, that's a guy. That's not Hellboy. Not even the right company. But that's all I got going on today. I'm going to be, all over Twitter and Instagram today, back and forth. And what else? Oh, this is supposed to be, a short thing. I'm like rambling for a half hour now, probably because the DC thing took me so long to get through. But anyhow, I got to go. I hope you have a wonderful day. We hope to see you in the live chat tonight for Okay Boomer, talking about Alan Moore Swamp Thing issue number 49. And we will see you then. And I will be back here tomorrow morning with more stuff. And keep a lookout for more show posts on the Outright Geekery Facebook page. They go there first. The only ones that I'm going to be sharing out that I'm writing up today are going right away are going to be obviously the Scott Hanna show post and the I'm going to say the Toking Dead guys. Ben and Jerry, the formerly Toking Dead guys. It's kind of funny. That's their real names, Ben and Jerry. And they smoke and get the munchies, and they probably eat a lot of Ben and Jerry's. But, okay, enough about that. Thank you all for tuning in today, and we will see you very